Yo, what's up, everybody? It's your bright, lovely man bird, also known as Buttermink, coming at you with our PMC Week 5 battle, I think it is. This is another league that I joined because they had someone drop, actually. First, this team was coached by Aaron2420, then co-host Innards picked it up, then he dropped it after a week. So I was like, yeah, sure, you know what, I'll take it up now. And so here we are, in another upload league. This is going to be a day late. In fact, I'm recording this the Monday after it's due, but yeah, let's just say recording at home wasn't possible yesterday, so I'm recording it at school. Don't get too mad at me, people, please. But yeah, as you can see, on my team, I have a Rotom Wash. This is defensive with Will-O-Wisp, Defog, Volt Switch, Hydro Pump. I've got a Wish, Protect, Seismic Toss, Stealth Locks or Toxic, Blissey. I've got an Expert Belt, Nasty Plot, Thunderous. I've got a Scarf Persimmon. I've got an AV Drampa, and I've got a defensive Aggron with Counter, Stealth Rock, Heavy Slam, and Roar. No, it's not Roar as my fourth move. But yeah, and as you can see, my opponent brought a Hitmonchan, a Decidueye, a Diggersby, a Miltank, a Skarmory, and a Mew. And first things first, Hitmonchan is as you can see with the mons I brought, it has super effective coverage against 4 of them, and if it's carrying Ice Punch, then it hits 5 or 6 of them for super effective damage. So it's definitely scary. Miltank, I expect to just be defensive. Mew, I don't have a clue what Mew's going to do in this matchup, but I have a Nasty Plot, Expert Belt boosted Dark Pulse from Thundy for it. So Skarmory obviously sets rocks. Decidueye, he could bring it Scarfed, he could bring it Swords Dance, he could bring a sub Leech Seed set, but Hitmonchan is a terrifying mon for my team, and if he leads it, I'm pretty much screwed. So my best answer to that is actually my Rotom Wash. So that is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to straight up lead Rotom, as he actually does indeed end up leading Hitmonchan. So that's it's good for me, as we're going to get the challenge from Max Rapture. He's an Aussie bloke. I actually battled 2 of them this week. Oh, no, sorry. I battled 2 the week after this. But yeah, he's an Aussie bloke as well. As he's just going to click Fake Out, he reveals that he is indeed Life Orb, which is actually even worse for me. But I'm going to get some Leftovers recovery. I'm going to reveal to him that I'm basically max defense. And I'm just going to click Will-O-Wisp. I can't risk this thing not being burned, as he actually ends up going into Miltank. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I can burn this thing. I shouldn't have any problems versus this. It probably has, Milk Drink, Stealth Rocks, Toxic, the standard set. So I'm like, okay, so this isn't going to be horrible. I can handle this. Actually, it ends up being a lot worse for me, as he ends up revealing that he has Facade, which is a great bring on his part, but annoying as hell to deal with on my team, as I'm just going to Volt Switch out. At this point, I'm like, oh, well, I'm screwed. But Persimmon can come in and basically force this thing out, and I can click any move I want. I have U-Turn, I have Gunk Shot because he had a Mega Gardevoir. He didn't bring it, though. And I have U-Turn, Close Combat, and Knockoff. I'm just going to click Knockoff because it's the safe middle ground play. If he goes into Mew, if he goes into Skarmory, I can scout what item they have. As he's actually going to reveal that his Skarmory is very defensive and it's got Rocky Helmet, so I'm going to get that information. And at this point, I can just go out into Thunderous, I believe. Yeah, I go out into Thunderous, because this thing, unless it has Whirlwind, is setup fodder, and he doesn't really... I don't think he wants to stay in on this, but it actually turns out after he sets his rocks. Next turn, I am going to click Nasty Plot, just because, well, there's a best chance to set up, and he's just going to click Toxic and start whittling me down with that, which is fair enough. I get that. I personally think the setup was obvious. I should have just clicked Thunderbolt, but I'm fine with what happened there, as I'm going to take the Toxic damage. And he's now going to switch out, but I predict this because he has 2 switches into a Thunderbolt. He has his Decidui and he has his Diggersby, and either one is going to take massive damage from this Dark Pulse that I'm going to click, and as luck has it, he goes into his Decidui, and his Decidui just drops with an Expert Bells boosted +2 Dark Pulse. And now he's going to go into Hitmonchan. His play right here is to click Fake Out and get more chip on me, but I'm not switching out because, you know, I can still get off damage on his team and start weakening it around. He's obviously going to switch, and this time I'm going to click Flash Cannon, just because it's my other move, and, you know, it does the same damage as Dark Pulse to Diggersby that's probably coming in. But at this point, he reveals that he is actually AV Diggersby, which is annoying to say the least, as that's a +2 Flash Cannon doing less than half to a Diggersby. So he's AV as heck, and he's just going to quick attack. Right here, I could have used this turn to go into my Mega Aggron and save that for later, but with rocks up and it being toxic and so low, it didn't seem worth it. As I'm just going to go into Persimmon right here, I know, because of Persimmon's natural bulk, I live a quick attack, and I force him out. And this time, I should have predicted this and gone for a U-turn or a knockoff, but I just close combat because I didn't want to play around with the Diggersby, and Mew basically gets in for free, because that did like a hot 25 at maximum. So I obviously have to switch out because I'm locked into a move that is disadvantageous, as I'm going to go into my AV Drampa, and I should be able to take whatever special move this thing goes for. As he ends up just clicking U-turn, which, you know, makes sense. I would have done the same thing too, just get some momentum off. As he goes back into Diggersby. Now this play, I know he's AV, but I also know that I can live a frustration, and it puts me in Berserk range, which means that my Hyper Voice that I click right here should end up killing him after I get the Berserk boost, as I do end up clicking the Hyper Voice, and Pretzel will end up picking its first kill of the season. I actually added it to my team as one of my free agency moves, so that's great. At this point, now this is where I throw the game into the trash can, basically. He goes out into Hitmonchan, and I predict the Fake Out, but in retrospect, and I even asked him about it later, he had no reason not to click Drain Punch there. Like, he outsped Drampa, Drain Punch gave him a little bit of recovery, but I switch hard into Mega Aggron, and when it's still a Rock Steel type and it doesn't have Sturdy because rocks are up, yeah, that basically means that Miltank in the end game just completely destroys me, because I let it take so much damage. And yeah, that's basically the point where I knew the game was lost completely, because I just threw it away like that. As he's going to go into Miltank, as I'm going to use Defog and get these rocks off the field. He still has Skarmory in the back that can set him, but I still have this that can, you know, get rid of him. I know I live another Facade here, and I'm going to have to, because Miltank is faster than me, because I didn't put much speed into this at all, as he's going to take the burn, and then he's going to, I believe he just clicks Facade here. Yeah, he clicks Facade as I go for the Volt Switch, as that puts me really low on health, so I have to remember that. But Volt Switch brings it down to about half, which is good, which means I can bring in Persimmon right now. And this turn is another, this was actually a really good play on his part, because I know he has 2 switches into close combat, but he knows that I know that, so that my more likely plays go to U-turn, which I do click, and I have to go into Drampa to sack it off here, because I think he's going for another Facade. But no, he just clicks Milk Drink, which, yeah, forestalls this problem even further for me. So that's great. Gotta love not killing what's in front of you, and it ended up costing you the game. And at this point, he has no reason not to just click Facade, as like I have no reason to let Drampa live. It's too low to be useful anymore. It did its job and it got a kill, but it's gonna drop now. At this point, I'm like, okay, so if I have Blissey, and I got a lot of defense into it, and its max HP helps a lot. So I can go into this, and I can start setting off wishes, and outstall this thing, until he reveals Curse. At that point, I haven't seen any of his other moves besides Milk Drink and Facade. He revealed that he had EQ after the game, but yeah, I go for the Wish. As soon as he reveals Curse, I realize that, well, the aggron was 100% necessary for this thing. So that's great. As you see, his +1 facade is going to do, over half to this Blissey. It does 202 damage out of my 362 HP. And I do get the wish back though, so that's great. But I know that I can't take 2 more of those, which is what I need for wish. So that's awesome. And I'm going to just click, another wish, because I don't have much of a choice. She's going to just click another facade. And yes, a -1 speed Miltank still outspeeds Blissey. So, yeah, as you can see, I'm basically fighting a losing war here. There's not much I can do, because I can't switch anything into this Miltank. But at this point, I actually do try and pull a switch into something else that would save me. Oh no, I click protect this time. I think it's the next round where as you can see, this is just a Miltank versus Blissey matchup, as I'm getting wishes off, he's getting facades off, he's getting leftovers recover and is being negated by his burn. It's just, this is a very stall-heavy endgame, as he's going to go for the milk drink, as he predicts my wish again, and that's, gotta love that, as I'm obviously going to click wish, because I don't have a choice in the matter. It is what it is, as he's going to get hurt by his burn and go down. He's going to actually click curse this time, predicting my protect, as I'm going to click Seismic Toss this time, predicting him to actually curse, and it's going to, do about 35%, which, can still be negated by Milk Drink. Leftovers, obviously. Yeah, this is just a very painful middle section, and it's just like, well, I've got to make a play eventually, as I click Wish again, because, need that health back up, as he's just going to click Facade again. And this time is when I actually try and make a play, because I know that this is going to go on for quite a while, and I'm going to get nothing out of it if I don't make some kind of move. So I decide that this turn he's probably going to curse again, predicting my protect. So I'm going to pull the switch out into Rotom, hopefully get health back with this wish, in fact go back to full health, but nope, he just goes for straight up facade and kills me. So yeah, Rotom goes down pretty much unnecessarily as I lose him, and that's always fun when you're throwing away Mons left and right like I did this match. I'm not proud of how I played this match at all. It was pretty painful, but I'm actually going to click Close Combat here, because I need damage on this thing. And it actually does over half, which means if I had bought it in at like +1, it would have definitely killed this thing from where it was at. But obviously a +2 facade is going to kill, Persimmon, there's no question about it. And I'm just going okay, well I just lost 4-0, that's fantastic, love that, love getting 4-0'd in a game. But actually, at this point, I'm like, Seismic Toss, okay, he's going to kill me, but might as well try it. No, I actually outspeed, because he is now at -2, and he's at less than 50 health, which means Seismic Toss actually kills him, meaning that Blissey right here just saved me a 4-0 and instead made it a 3-0 game, which, was not fun. I mean, like I said, I played horribly this game, and I definitely, props to Max, he definitely deserved the win. He definitely out-battled me, out-prepped me. He had the whole 9 yards here, and, I gotta give it to him. And he's just gonna click Drain Punch. Blissey's not taking that, not Life Orb Iron Fist boosted, as, it's just gonna die, and that's gonna be Week 5 PMC, a 3-0 loss for us. It is how it is. We'll always get him back next time. And maybe, even though we're 0-5 now, we can turn stuff around and, make a playoff run for the PMC. There's always next week. No one said goodbye is forever, after all. So thank you all, my bright, lovely people, for watching. It's been really fun. I actually kind of enjoyed this battle. Persimmon put in the finest of work for me. And thanks for watching, all you bright, lovely people. I hope to see you later today for the IBL D-League Week 5 video, or Week 6. I'm in too many leagues now, I can't keep it straight. But goodbye!